If you are new to this channel and enjoy the content that you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be alerted and notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel, along with following me on these social media platforms to stay connected with me at all times. Also, feel free to check out all of your favorite videos and playlists located down in the description box below. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. With the latest Godzilla 2019 movie on the horizon, there are many fan speculations within the Godzilla community on whether or not Godzilla is going to encounter other creatures besides Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah in the upcoming Godzilla 2019 movie. Well, in fact, it is confirmed that we are going to in fact be seeing more monsters outside of Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah in the upcoming movie, but the question is, what kind of monsters can we expect to see? Now, my prognostication for this film is that we are probably going to see something along the lines of either having to be reintroduced to more Mutos creatures as we've previously seen in the Godzilla 2014 movie, but the better question is why. So this video is going to basically be prognosticating on several different scenarios in introducing new monsters for potentially Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra to face off against. Now, the first obvious choice would be to go with another Mutos creature. Now, we understand that the previous Mutos creatures that were introduced in the previous Godzilla movie were two of their own kind, a male and a female, that were looking to reproduce and creating offspring. Now, there is a theory within the Godzilla community that perhaps maybe the influence and the overall after effects of what we've seen with the previous two Muto creatures have possibly reawakened at least one additional Muto creature somewhere in the world and causing it to reawaken based on the fight that we're going to see from Rodan, Mothra, Ghidorah, and Godzilla, in allowing this creature to step in and having some sort of an impact against said creatures. Now, I do think the most powerful entity in this movie among all the monsters are obviously going to be King Ghidorah and Godzilla. Not discrediting Mothra and Rodan's abilities, but I don't see any other Muto creature having to be anywhere near the capabilities of both Godzilla and King Ghidorah in this movie. Now, King Ghidorah is going to be the largest known monster that we know of in this movie, but also taking into account this movie is going to set up for Kong vs. Godzilla in 2020, in which ties back to Godzilla King of the Monsters movie, as according to ScreenRant.com, one of the articles goes on to state, and I quote, "The possibility of multiple Titans having to be teased by the mysterious King of the Monsters tie-in website called MonarchScience.com, in which on its homepage invites visitors to help Monarch discover Titans and defend the world. By clicking Explore, website visitors go to a map of the Earth where buttons over certain locations around the globe are noticeable. 3 of these buttons glow red, and when clicking on them, visitors receive information about Rodan, Mothra, and of course Monster Zero, also known as King Ghidorah. But there are also 17 other buttons scattered around Earth, and that the site hints that there could be multiple locations of these Titans. Clicking on these buttons does nothing for now, but certainly they will activate over the coming weeks, giving fans more clues about which surprise monster to look out for in Godzilla King of the Monsters." Now, that's a clear indication that if we already know three of the current monsters that are going to be facing off and or potentially working with Godzilla, then what are the remainder of the 17 monsters located on the Monarch website? Now, since we know of Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, is it possible for us to be introduced to Gigan, or perhaps maybe the introduction of Anguirus in the film? Is it possible for us to also be introduced to Batara, or perhaps maybe Megalon? King Caesar could also potentially be another creature introduced, or if they want to go on ahead and go with Titanosaurus, they can also go on ahead and introduce that, especially since right now we don't know which additional creatures they plan on introducing, or perhaps maybe we aren't going to be getting any of the original Toho monsters, but instead brand new creatures entirely similar to the Muto creatures that we've seen in Godzilla 2014. Now, to weigh in my thoughts as to what I think about the upcoming creatures that are going to be additionally added on, I don't see any other creature being remotely as strong as either Godzilla or King Ghidorah. I can see Mothra and Rodan having competition, not only amongst each other, but amongst the other creatures as well, but that all varies as to what kind of creatures they plan on introducing, whether or not we're going to be getting the same design as the Muto creatures seen in Godzilla 2014, or perhaps maybe new monsters, maybe creatures that resemble that of aquatic animals, like perhaps sharks or whales, or maybe a snake-like monster, a centipede-like monster. Anything is possible, but I do believe that these additional creatures are going to be tied in, especially when carrying on over with Godzilla 2020 as he sets to battle against Kong. I don't think that Kong vs. Godzilla is going to to be a legitimate one-on-one battle, but instead I feel as if at least a few of these monsters that are showcased on the Monarch website are going to be interrupting that fight and more or less getting in the way of Kong and Godzilla, especially if you're going to have 17 additional spots and then having only 3 monsters be featured in the upcoming movie. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. Perhaps maybe for the first time we could see Kong and Godzilla more or less work together in the third movie as opposed to just fighting by themselves, in which they take out the third party involved, in which sets up for the finale in them having to go at each other in order to find out who the true king of monsters is between the two. And what's also very interesting about Kong vs. Godzilla, in which connects to Godzilla King of the Monsters, is perhaps maybe some of those spots that are located on the map are in fact from Skull Island, as we do understand that there are plenty of underground creatures within and buried under Skull Island that we are currently unaware of. So perhaps maybe there is a beast lurking beneath Skull Island that is possibly going to be introduced in King of the Monsters or during Godzilla vs. Kong. But nonetheless, with Godzilla 2 having to set up for Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, I don't see most of these monsters, if any at all, surviving unless they want to carry out King Ghidorah and preserving him for a later film. He is the only creature I can see surviving by the end, if of course Godzilla doesn't kill him. But I also do believe that if Mothra does end up working with Godzilla, he may end up straying away and surviving. But among the 3, I don't see them surviving, especially if this is going to be a battle to the death. However, just because our current monsters are going to be way overpowered than the previous Muto creatures having to be seen in Godzilla 2014, we can't discredit the fact that these upcoming monsters, the new monsters that we haven't seen before, could be on a completely different level in comparison to the other Muto creatures that we've seen in the previous movie. Not saying that these creatures could be more powerful and massive in comparison, but in terms of abilities and what they have to present, they could be classified as deadlier creatures in comparison to the 2014 Muto creatures. Which again, if you want to consider how many additional monsters they're going to throw in, it only makes sense to have Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra showcase their abilities on said creatures. For example, you can't have King Ghidorah just simply kill off Rodan or Godzilla, but instead you're going to have to set up a scenario to where you display King Ghidorah's feats on a said subject, which coincidentally enough, that said subject could be one of the upcoming monsters having to be shown in the film, which in a way you can use these upcoming creatures that pretty much have no significance or connection to Toho's original monsters as basic test subjects for Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan to showcase their feats against. Especially King Ghidorah, since we've already seen what Ghidorah can do in Toho's original monster movies. King Ghidorah by far is going to give Godzilla the greatest fight that Godzilla has ever had before. Now again, we also understand that King Ghidorah was found in this film with claw marks and bite marks throughout its body, indicating that yes, perhaps at some given point long ago, Godzilla and King Ghidorah, also known as Monster Zero, did clash at some given point, but now it could be a fight to the death if they don't preserve King Ghidorah's character and carrying the creature on over in a future movie. Now in relation to Kong Skull Island, I can perhaps see maybe a couple of creatures coming straight from there and attacking Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, but ultimately enough, whatever additional creatures we end up seeing in the film, I believe, are going to be used as mere crash test dummies for our current monsters to go on ahead and display their feats against as they battle against each other as the movie reaches its climax. But in the end, we would like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. What kind of creatures can we expect to see in this upcoming movie? Do you guys believe perhaps maybe it is similar, or the said creatures are similar to the previous Muto creatures having to be shown in Godzilla 2014? Are these creatures brand new creatures that we haven't seen before? Are they perhaps related to arachnids or aquatic-like monsters, or are they going to be completely different in nature? And are we setting ourselves up for surprise monsters that we've seen in Toho's original movies? Perhaps Gigan, Anguirus, and creatures of that nature? Let us know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are excited and ready for the upcoming Godzilla 2019 movie, then go on ahead and slap a like down below. If you guys have any theories as to what these other monsters can be and where they might be located, post your theories and comments in the comment section below. Also, if you guys want to check out more Godzilla videos such as this, check out the official playlist located down in the description box below. If you guys are new, smash that subscribe button, tune back in for more. Again, this movie promises to have more action and more development than the previous Godzilla 2014 movie, which pretty much got a lot of criticism in its approach, and especially in terms of its monster fights. Even though Godzilla vs. the Muto creatures was basically displayed at a very short time in comparison to what the humans had when it came down to screen time, I do believe that this specific movie is going to have more screen screen time of the monsters fighting than how we've seen in the previous 2014 movie, which is a good thing. However, it's all about display, it's all about showcasing the monsters' feats, in which if you stop and think about it, what better way would we rather have King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan showcase their feats than having them fight off and kill creatures of less significant importance in the film than each other, at least until we reach the end of the film, when all hell breaks loose and we get to see the final battle happen, in which sets up for the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong movie. So by the end of it, I think that King Ghidorah might survive in this film. I think that if they don't have a plan with him in terms of resurrecting him or bringing him back in the foreseeable future for another film, I think that King Ghidorah might end up being killed off in this film if they don't preserve his character. However, if you guys believe that there is going to be a survivor, or at least one surviving monster out there, who is it going to be? Who are you rooting for? And let us know your thoughts down below. Thank you all once again for watching. Tune back in for more, and we'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace.